7 o'clock. I'd like to call the Inland Wetland Commission meeting to order. I am acting as chair tonight. My name is Bob Utterman. To my left is Robert Scalera. To my right is Tom Keller. Down there is Laura Barkowski. Did I pronounce that correctly?
You did.
Thank you. Cassandra Varian is our recording secretary. And we're going to do the best we can. So, I think what we'll do first is see at the active sites, 731 Federal Road inspection.
We have to call the meeting to order first?
Excuse me?
Call the meeting to order first?
Meeting called to order. Okay.
Second.
First item I'd like to look at is the 731 Federal Road inspection. Do you have anything on that?
I do. I can give you a little bit of an update. I went out there. I know they're trying to get their final sign off to open the apartments upstairs. So there's open building permits still on the site. So the site work is not 100% complete. I went out there with, instead of Cynthia, who normally does our reports, I went out there with Kelsey. She's another person from Northwest. There was few suggestions that were made to just kind of finalize and stable up the site so it doesn't require reporting anymore. I haven't gotten a chance to go back out there. Tony Lucera, the property owner, called me this morning and let me know that, so I just want to do one final inspection. Maybe by your next meeting, I might be putting in a recommendation to
Okay, so we'll get away to next
yeah,
week.
we'll go to
Okay.
the next one.
All right. 100 Candlewood Lake Road, awaiting reports. Do we have any?
Oh, awaiting reports, no
Okay.
new.
Still. 58 Old Grays Bridge Road, update anything on that?
So the Graysbridge Road, there's still some inspection reports being received. I know they're trying to secure their CO. Everything looks okay so far. They're just gonna keep on going forward. 58, I don't really have an update on. And then 468 Federal Road, I'm jumping ahead of you, I'm sorry. They have submitted a stormwater management agreement. This is a unique situation. It's an approval before my time. They were supposed to have their stormwater management agreement filed on the land records back in the original approval. It never happened. The property has since been sold. Now they're starting construction on it. So prior to doing any kind of work or signing off on the permits, it might be something that the commission wants to go back and look at the original approval, make sure it matches, because many years have gone by at this point.
Okay.
So I suggest not doing anything on that at the
Okay.
moment.
All right. I'm in agreement. You all are in agreement with that?
I'm in agreement.
Okay. Robert?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. All right, now,
23?
excuse
She
me.
covered 23 right
Oh,
before
I jumped
58.
quickly, I'm
She jumped
sorry.
right through them.
Okay, enforcement, Merwin Brook?
I thought that Brendan was going to be here today. Mr. Gonzalez was going to attend. So can we go forward and see if there's anybody else in attendance for another application? Because I spoke with him about, he did receive the citation that we sent
Right.
last time. He, of course, was not happy with him receiving a citation. Nobody really is, which is fair. I did suggest and tell him that he should attend this next meeting, so I'm kind of surprised that he's not in attendance to give the commission an explanation about what occurred and what the timeline was in out of his own words.
Okay,
So,
Come back to that.
Maybe come back to that.
okay. Let's see, Crossroad, 11A Crossroad.
Good evening, Michael Cruz with the landowners La Banda. We had to update or switch over our surveyor and soil scientist. So my clients have now retained CCA here in town, and we're waiting on the soil scientist, who is Jim McManus. He's just getting back from vacation, so he has not been out to the property yet to
Okay.
flag it.
Okay.
And I'm just waiting for him to schedule a time to come out to the property now, and so
Okay.
we can report back and have some progress.
Okay, so we can just postpone that to the next meeting.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
You think you'll have that by the next meeting?
I hope to have it.
Okay.
Yes.
I think it's 3 weeks, the next meeting.
Okay.
All right. All right, anybody want to make a motion to postpone this to the next meeting?
Make a motion to postpone 11A Crossroad to the next meeting.
You second it, okay? All in favor?
All right.
Aye. All right,
Thank you.
there you go, sir. Okay, 499 Federal Road.
So this, we're just keeping on the agenda as a reminder, they did everything that they were supposed to do. Their next update will be November 15th, that their plantings must be in. So it's just a bookmark.
Okay, that's, all right, so we'll move on to 2A Crossroad. Are you 2A Crossroad? 3, okay.
We're so close.
So close here, yes,
I'm not seeing anyone from that.
Application.
Nobody's here from 2A Crossroad. Okay, we'll just skip over that for now, I guess. All right, and now we'll go to 84 Laurel Hill Road. I know you're there.
Alright, so, this is the proposal, I did for all the trees that I'm putting on, it's 11 trees
Oh.
that I'm gonna be putting on. They're actually called, Gian tree,
Deciduous?
yeah, like the pine trees that.
Oh, okay,
you
all
know,
right, yeah,
I just put them
deciduous,
right-
yeah. Right.
The Gian trees.
Right.
I'm supposed to put only 6, but I'm doing 11.
Okay,
And she said the bound is gonna be for the 6, not for the 11.
okay,
And then the location is gonna be like here.
okay, all right. You guys wanna take a look at this? So we're proposing to plant the trees.
Has there been
Specifically.
any removal of the trees that were down?
Excuse me?
The
No,
tree-
not yet.
Not yet, so there's,
Everything is still there.
okay.
Everything is still there, yeah.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, didn't Sharon want a couple of the trees placed up further at the
Yes,
last meeting?
yes, that was my question. She was mentioning 20 and then she said 30, so I would like to know, which one. I would love to do, 20 if you guys don't mind.
Okay.
Well, I think that was okay because that's more than he took down.
Right, I agree.
But my only thing was, I know Sharon was talking about putting some a little further up.
Okay.
Not just a straight line. I mean,
Yeah, maybe like a curve like this, something like that.
I think she wants some more inland.
Okay,
Yes, she said like 20 feet in.
Yeah.
20
Okay.
feet in or 30 feet in. So, I mean,
all right,
I mean, I see the goal that you're trying to accomplish there.
all right.
Trying to find a mix between what Sharon was looking for and what you're trying to accomplish.
Personally, I don't see a big problem with that.
I don't either. I'm just pointing out one thing that Sharon had pointed out the last meeting.
Right.
Can I point out something?
Yes,
Please.
ma'am.
You still need to submit a remediation application and that plan to the office. So
Also
I know
send
you,
this?
yeah, so
Oh,
you have to
okay.
actually file a new application. So this is your violation that we're discussing right now. That's how you're gonna fix it. Your next step to fix it is to fill out an actual application
There you go.
with your plan set. So they can't really act on anything tonight, cause I
Okay.
don't have an application.
Okay.
But you can give them the verbal okay to fill out the application and go forward with
All
the
right.
next step, if
I'm-
that's
I'm
what
good
you're
for
okay
that.
with that.
oh, okay.
All right.
Just give them everyone.
I'm good with it too, just
Go through the formality.
to mention again, when you come back with the application, I'm pretty sure Sharon's gonna want some trees up here, so
Yes.
you may wanna
Move them back.
move a couple of them back.
Okay. So,
How far back are these right here? Do you know?
they're like 20 feet.
The 20?
So maybe 30 or thereabouts.
Not, I think she's just looking for more, not a full straight line, correct?
I think she, from my understanding, she wants them a little bit more staggered.
Oh, okay.
So if
Okay,
you can
well.
push maybe 1 or 2, because you're planting how many in total? 11?
11, yes.
Yeah, maybe
And you
if
took
could
down,
plant
what,
a
6?
couple at the 30 line and the rest at the 20 line, just so it's not just
Okay.
a
I will
straight.
do that.
Okay,
Okay.
Thank you.
all right.
And you
So,
could really achieve the same goal with the offset, you know?
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right.
okay, we're gonna do a continuance on this. You do all the paperwork. See her, Laura, about,
Application?
yeah.
Yeah, do the okay to do an
All
application.
right, sir.
So I will handle this to you
So-
and then do the application?
Online.
Online.
All of it's done online.
Yeah, and as Thomas mentioned, try to stagger them.
Okay.
Too, all right,
Sure
So-
will.
all right.
If you need help, you can call the office.
I will definitely.
Okay, not a problem.
Alright,
Okay,
All right.
so,
Thank you.
that's good?
Thank
Alright,
you.
Thank you.
okay, have a good evening. 3,
That was 2A, right? No, it was
that
Laurel.
was 84.
That was 8 for Laurel.
Yeah.
We're at the 3
Three cross.
Alright, so it's only been 2 weeks since the last meeting, but I did mark the map up. I haven't met with Jim McManus on it yet. I did bring the application because I started filling it out just in pencil. I know you have to do it online, but my question would be, since I'm in front of you guys already, is how much should I put on the application now? Because there's a couple things I wanna do since the upland review area is so close to the house. Like, I wanna tear out the deck, redo the deck, and that's technically within probably the upland review, so do I put that on the application now?
When do you think you're
That's
gonna
exactly
get
what I
it
was
done?
gonna ask.
That's the next question, I don't know.
Will it be done within the next 5 years?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, then I would suggest yes. Put
Yeah,
everything
that's-
on the application now, that way we can refer back to that original permit. They don't expire until 5 years,
Yeah.
we could get an expiration. That way you're doing it in one fell swoop without having to come back before us.
Well, that's what I was thinking, okay, so that changes my application, and that's gonna, yeah, well, I still have to meet with Jim on it anyway, but,
There you go.
yeah, I marked it, I put all the trees, I kinda marked where they were leaning with little lines, and there's a shed here. This is where the barn was, this is where the chicken coop was, this is where the boat was, car, overhang, Massey Ferguson, yeah. And then I did wanna construct another barn outside of the upland review area.
Right.
I think I still have to get a wetlands stamp
If
on
it's
it.
outside the upland review area, you won't need to. If it's within the upland review area, I would put it on that permit, so.
It's gonna be outside, but,
Are you sure?
yeah,
Okay.
cause the upland review is 7, yeah, cause
Okay.
more or less I'm just going off the stone wall, which is pretty accurate.
Okay,
But even then, I'm gonna be moving material through.
into the upland review area?
It's gonna go through the upland review
I
area
would put it on that permit.
one way or another,
Just,
yeah.
just to cover yourself too, and make
That's
sure
what I
that
was
all that no one's gonna go back and look or complain that there is no permit pulled for the construction of a barn, you know,
For the wetlands.
or for the wetlands.
Yeah, I'd have to.
Yeah, they're gonna want some kind of temporary thing going
Okay.
through the wetlands now.
I don't think he's actually going, you're not going through the wetlands in the construction.
Going
you're
through it with the
upland.
materials.
No, not
Of
through
the upland
wetlands.
review.
Yeah, not
Oh,
through the
no, I
wetlands.
don't have to go through wetlands, no, not trying to, yeah. No, just up, it's honestly, the wetlands is this, more or less this stone wall minus this.
And then you just got the upland
The
review.
thing
area.
is that's like, that runs pretty much right here, so it's like, anywhere I go is within upland review.
When you construct this, how are you gonna get to it?
The barn?
Yeah, when you construct that barn, how are you gonna get to it? You're not gonna go through the wetlands, are you?
No, upland review area.
The
Oh, yeah.
wetlands is down here.
No, okay. And this is the upland?
Yeah,
review?
upland review.
Okay,
Upland review is half my house, or my whole house pretty much.
So
my
he's
deck.
probably gonna have to cut through this little section of upland review right there from,
Oh, do you get the material?
right, that's my.
Well, I'll probably just drive it right in the lawn, yeah. Yeah, it's not too worried.
So that should-
This is a high, you know, this is down the way.
Right.
The deck I'll do prior to that.
I think they would, I think you might wanna exercise some caution, even go through the upland review. Getting through that, maybe like haying or something, with
Oh, yeah,
rows,
yeah.
what kind of equipment you're gonna use. You're gonna have a backhoe obviously for footings, right?
Hmm?
You're gonna have a backhoe for footings for the shed, or is that
This is a barn.
a barn, okay, so you're gonna,
The shed, there's an existing shed which I wanna tear out.
right.
There's like, what do you call it, equipment in there?
She-
Old soldering equipment, like those
Oh,
giant
sod,
things.
okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
That-
Fran, my neighbor was showing me what they were.
Fran Bacon.
Yeah, Fran, yeah. That I wanna tear out, and I wanna do another shed. I don't know where yet, but, yeah, I have a plan, but it's kinda sporadic based on my weekends, cause, you know, this is when I gotta work on stuff. But the deck I'm gonna do, the shed I'm gonna do, the barn will be probably within 5 years, but not next year. It's not gonna be within 2 years, yeah.
That shouldn't be a problem for
Yeah.
your wetlands permit. Don't pull your building permit yet for it though.
No, I know. That's down the way. It's one thing after another, but I figure I'm in front of you guys now, so I just kinda wanna find out what I should put on this permit before I file anything. And then I have to meet with Jim McManus on this to cure the violation, and then, try to get it all done at once.
Right.
Yeah, so
This is-
tree.
You're taking them down?
No,
They're gonna leave them?
I
okay.
just,
Yeah, you
Sharon-
just located them, okay.
Sharon wanted me to mark
Yeah,
them.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, trees, they're all over. I only marked the big ones. There's a bunch of smaller ones.
Right,
in
right,
between,
right. All right.
Yeah.
Any questions?
This is down trees. I made a little mark for 'em.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'd probably suggest putting the deck on there. The barn, you think it's a good idea, being they got a cross-upland review?
If, I would say so, particularly if you think you're getting it done within the next 5 years, you might as well.
Yeah, I
So,
probably will, yeah.
The only thing, how large, since I can't see what you're proposing, how large of a barn are you?
40 by 20. I already have the plans for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so also you might wanna include any kind of stockpile of material that you're gonna do when you're building. What kind of foundation are you doing on that?
Slab.
Just slab, okay.
Yeah, stockpile maybe here.
And any
I'll
units
push
that
it
you're-
back from there. Yeah.
Yeah, the idea, even during construction or access to it, is just to minimize any potential for, creating tracks that thing rain and it creates mud and silt and all that other stuff.
Sure, and I can,
You can hay bale it or
hay
put
bale it,
silt fence it.
Silt fence.
I can use wattles.
Right.
Yeah, whatever, yeah.
And the same with this.
This slopes towards wetlands, this slopes away.
Okay, all right,
Well, to that way.
all right.
This slopes this way, down into the ravine, this slopes this way.
All right.
And then I'm gonna put footings on it. Yeah,
All right,
and then everything's just pretty much grass.
all right. What do we do from here now?
So he still has to also submit his application, which he's aware of. He's meeting with Jim McManus, so we're just gonna pretty much, just like the last one, once he gets his
Right.
information finalized, submitting it, and it will be under new business once it's submitted. Till then, the violation will still stand.
Yeah, it's just called Inlands Wetlands Commission application, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And
I
all
believe
the
he was
options
just
are on that
looking
one.
to see what we
Yeah,
thought he
that's-
should put on the
Right.
application.
I didn't know whether I should cure the violation, and then do another permit and come back, or if I should just do it all at once.
Do it all at once, yeah.
All at
Right,
once.
right.
Also, I didn't have a lot of time, 'cause the last meeting was 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Well, you'll have 3 weeks for the next one.
I know, so I'll be back with the next one, and I'll be able to.
Was that easy?
What?
Was this easy?
This, so far, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
The
All right,
paperwork,
All right.
then you gotta actually, do it.
all right.
Yeah, okay.
Well, can't do it all, come on.
I know, that's one thing.
All right,
Alright, so I gotta meet with Jim McManus, and then I'll be
Great.
back at the next meeting, which is in 3 weeks.
okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Alright, thank you.
Thank you, see that?
Alright, thanks.
Okay, we're gonna continue Three Cross Road, I guess.
Yep.
All right, so make note of that. Old business, 81 Pocono Road. Hey, how are you?
Good.
Great,
How we doing?
great, thank you.
For the record, Chris Pulaski, civil engineer at Civil 1. Alright, so last time we were before you, you guys did a few changes. So we made all the changes and submitted a revised plan set, and just want to go over them quickly with you if you don't mind. So this is our proposed site here. Down. So again, Pocono Road here. So the first comment that we received was regarding the town drainage that we were rerouting previously just to a small discharge point right here. So we looked at this and we decided that it would be best if we installed the 30-foot level spreader, which is just inside the tip of the upland review area here. So that is basically, it's almost like a waterfall. I don't know if you're familiar with level spreaders, but it spreads the water out evenly, and then it flows over a lip, so it's all an even flow, and it's 30 feet
Almost like a
long.
weir?
Yes,
Okay,
but it's 30 feet long.
Okay.
So instead of creating like a channelized discharge,
Alright.
it spreads the water out and allows it to flow nicely down the hill.
Okay.
So that was our solution to that request or question.
and it flows it out over riprap?
Yes.
Okay,
Absolutely. So
so
there's
that'll slow everything down, filter out, and okay.
Exactly.
okay.
Yep. And then it just slowly trickles down, so you don't get washout or erosion down the bank of it,
Right.
essentially. So, and again, that's located right here, and this red line is the limit of the upland. The wetlands are down here, just
Okay.
for your reference. So the second question or request was regarding the hay bales in the areas where it's tight to the wetlands there. So we added hay bales. As you can see this big gray dash line here, because this is where we're only 12 feet off the wetlands here. So that was to reinforce that silt fence to give an extra protection there. So we added them there. It's also close in this area, so we added hay bales in there as well. So that was request number 2, if you will. Request number 3 regarded the machinery and the parking.
Right.
So if you see this big hatchway out in the front here, it's way outside of the upland review area, excuse me. We added that designated equipment parking area, so at the end of the day, after they're all done working, all the machines will be parked right out in front of the site, way out of the upland review area. as
Okay,
far as-
they're not gonna have any vehicles behind it?
No.
No driving behind it, okay.
Nope. And
Okay.
we also, like stemming from that, there was a request to add some notes in the plans regarding equipment maintenance, to prevent oil spills and leakage. They're not on this plan in front of me, but the last sheet in the plan said, if you flip through, they are on there.
What about salt in the wintertime? How do you, any thoughts on that?
So,
Because the drivers will be salted, they got ice and stuff like that.
yeah, I mean, a lot of the stuff will be treated by this Coltech system when it's developed. When it's, during the construction process, they're not typically using a lot of salt, it's gonna be dirt. It's gonna be a lot of like mud, honestly, at that point. But
Right.
when the site's fully developed and all the storm drains installed and controlled, there's a separator road we talked about, I believe, last time in this Coltech system that goes right through the middle there.
Right.
And that has an extra layer of that filter fabric. I think you might have asked the question about
Yeah,
how long
yeah,
that
I
lasts
recall
for.
that, yeah.
That'll, treat out or separate out those salts and silts and whatnot. So, but they try to use as little as can. Salt is super expensive. It's very, so you try to just stay on top of it and plow as much as you can.
No
But,
question, yeah.
Dan will definitely take care of that. So.
Of course, salt, after it's been dissolved, it's not a particle anymore, it's just.
Right, it's in the water.
It's in the water,
exactly,
right.
Correct.
That's-
So,
The filtration is not
Well,
enough.
it'll actually bind it, it'll resuspend or bind itself to the sediment that builds up in that row.
Uh-huh.
So think like if you're a spill at a gas station or something like that, you throw down sand. So any like pollutants or particulates, including salts, will reattach to whatever sediment's built up in there.
Okay.
In that filter row, and then it can be vacuumed out down the road.
Yeah, because obviously oil,
Sure.
any of that stuff
Exactly.
is an
Yep.
issue. Yeah,
Right.
so.
that was another request or change to the plan that we did. And then we also added a few notes. We added a note that the town can inspect at any time, and that they have the right to come on the property during the construction process and verify that everything is installed according to plan. We as civil engineers have the right to come onto the property and inspect during the construction process to make sure everything's neat and tidy. At the end of the day, the contractor's got to inspect his equipment, make sure nothing is leaking or anything of those items, if you will. And I think
Laura, what are your thoughts? Any thoughts on this?
I think
that was
they pretty
everything.
much covered
Yeah.
everything
I
that
think
was
so too.
asked of
Yeah,
them.
I think so too.
Thank you.
Pretty much any question that came up that I thought of while you were talking, you
Right.
got to eventually.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What's this ovular thing behind the first building?
This thing?
Yeah.
It's just a temporary sediment or soil stockpile, so when they strip the topsoil off the site, we also move those out of the upland review area, so there's one here, one here, one here, they're all located outside of the upland review area, but basically when you go into the site, you just gotta clear the topsoil, but you don't wanna get it off the site, so we're just gonna pile it up there. It's surrounded by silt fence, actually 2 layers of silt fence, so,
Okay.
Okay.
that's basically what you see there, those little piles, those aren't permanent, basically, they're just during the
Temporary
construction
spoil.
process.
Okay, I see it on the legend.
What do you think, Robert? Anything?
That's it.
Did you give
Tom?
us a new, plan set?
Yes.
You dropped it off? Okay. So
And
you're-
submitted online too.
Okay.
It was on Wednesday or Thursday, sorry, it was tight, I know, I
That's okay.
apologize, so.
That's fine, I just didn't get it. Okay, that's fine. I just wanna make sure when we, if we look at the plans, we
Is
make sure
that,
we approve
when is the,
correct
I apologize.
Right.
That's all.
At the bottom right there in the front.
I would look at the big
Let's
file
see,
right there.
June 7th?
Yeah, so you haven't received it yet, but it was,
So actually, they're probably in that file right in front of you,
yeah.
so,
No.
yes. So let's just make sure the notes are June 18th.
Yep.
This is
She has some questions too, right?
She had some questions. There's
Right.
actually some comments or suggested, conditions of approval.
Area between buildings and wetlands, east side. should be
Wildflower mix.
wildflower.
So there's a request that there's not grass between the wetlands and the building itself, and instead it's the wildflower mix over at, like, particularly near that 12-foot.
So in this area?
Yes, mm-hmm.
We
Okay.
can just, we can put metal mix there, that's
Yeah,
fine.
that's,
Yeah.
I figured that wouldn't be a problem.
Okay, install and
I'm just gonna write this
monitor.
Sure thing. It's actually,
down. If you were to make a condition of approval, then that's fine
I can
as
make
well.
a condition of
That
approval
would
if we
be-
wanna,
okay.
yeah, if you wanna.
I just don't want, we'll do it in this general area where it's
Vicinity.
tight, if that's okay.
Yes. So then the other request was that, or is it possible condition of approval, was just to install markers and monuments along the retaining line.
Yeah,
wall
that's
To
fine.
show the line for the
Okay.
wetlands.
Okay.
Right, wetland line. Establish a permanent
a
line of
permanent.
disturbance.
Those are 4x4 wood posts, do you have a plaque in town?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
We can
Yep.
show you.
Pretty standard.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll install those top of the retaining wall.
They would be, establish a permanent limit of disturbance, for the wetlands.
So there is a rail and a fence along the whole entire back here.
Okay.
So what that, you won't be going beyond that essentially. It's just a limit of the pavement here, so.
So how far, cause she's
If
requesting.
you see the X here,
Mm-hmm.
so that goes all along the back here.
So she's.
So there's no one will be able to go this beyond that. So-
Okay, no, it's fine, you're absolutely fine. She's just so you're actually, based off of what you're saying to me, you're actually going more than she's even requesting. She's requesting 30 feet to remain undisturbed in all the areas but the 12-foot area. So it sounds like you're not going anything beyond the wall.
We're
Yeah.
right, we're very,
Yeah,
we're actually,
so
we're going like
it
this.
sounds like
Just as
you're-
far as the
yeah.
parking
Right,
lot,
right,
and
right.
then
And
that's
this is,
fence.
yeah, this is the wetland line here, so we're way,
Yeah.
yeah, we're
So
pretty far
and
out.
she's requesting that it, it remains 30 feet of a limit of disturbance wherever you can.
That's
With the, which
fair.
is,
And the next one's gonna be pretty easy too, no
Yeah.
fertilizers or pesticides
Yeah, no
to
fertilizer.
be used in the area between the building and the wetlands, which,
Sure, it's fine.
That's straightforward.
and they will be all written.
Let's see.
That's fine, I'm just writing it down
I
so
know,
I know for
that's
my
fine too,
notes.
I know.
that's the only reason I read it, because it's kinda hard, gonna be covered.
Invasive plants removed by hand, all the invasive plants can be removed by hand.
Yeah, within our limit of disturbance,
Okay.
we,
Yeah.
I don't really wanna chase the, and I don't know what's up
No,
here
no.
or not, but with anything that within our clearing
Limit of
limits, we'll take out.
disturbance.
Right, okay.
Yep.
And, stipulation about, this is,
It continues.
it's high road
I
left.
believe,
Add a
no?
stipulation about,
Planting.
Looks like you have another page here, huh?
Planting.
Someone-
it looks like I should have, stipulation about
Wall build.
detailing.
Oh, that, she doesn't want us to go into the wetlands, I think that was one of her comments during the construction of the wall. But that, we moved the wall, not from this revision, but from our first application, we could slide the wall back, so there is
Okay.
enough room to get in here and not disturb the
Disturb the
wetland. I
wetlands.
think that was what she
Okay,
was getting
that
to.
was the.
It could also be the hay bales when you're
Yeah,
doing the wall,
and
which
exactly.
I
just to
remember her
protect the
mentioning, yes.
Yep.
Okay. Anybody, Robert,
That's it for me.
Tom? What do you think, Laura?
If you feel comfortable with it, I think you can act on this application tonight.
Okay, we can approve it if
You
we
can
want to,
approve it,
okay.
yeah.
All right, I'll make a motion that we approve 81 Pocono Road with all the additions, amendments that we added on that. And this is for, let's see, W 2435 81 Pocono Road with all the usual stipulations that we make. What am I missing?
So with the plan date of June 7th,
2024?
with amended date
Yeah,
of.
it's amended date, sorry, I don't have it off the top of my head here.
July 17th.
July 17th,
Thank you.
16th.
Okay. Oh, anybody want to second that?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Sorry.
Okay, I guess you guys are set.
Hey, thank you so much for your
Bye.
time, we really appreciate it.
Yeah,
So is that one sooner, just so we can stamp the plan?
yeah, right, here's this,
I can give you the site plan here, if you want,
I might take yours.
whatever's easier.
I just
Ooh,
do
that
the,
was good.
like that, huh?
Take it off the board.
All right, just to make sure that.
No, June 7th, same dates.
you see, we got to stamp it, right?
Yeah, we're actually stealing his site plan.
Okay.
There are revision dates right on there, so. Thank you very much for your time, we appreciate it.
So, it's actually, you get to seal it, you get to use the official one, you don't,
Official sealer.
Man, it's a statement, a statement. Okay.
and then,
Thank you very much, guys.
Have a good day. Evening. Okay, sign it.
yes, please. And that's your official approved plan.
The rubber band's over there.
That's a shot.
Oops.
No, it was intentional.
Yeah, you know. Gotta throw those little scares out now and then.
Okay. All right, we're all set. I'll go chairman now, because I'm the chairman tonight, right?
You're the
All right,
acting
all right.
chair.
Let's see, where are we at?
Do you wanna put the notes with the plan?
I do actually. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, new business. 23 Grays Bridge. There you go.
Thank you so much.
You have a good
everyone.
evening.
Appreciate it. You too.
More
Thank you so much.
self-storage. I mean, this town's gonna be self-storage.
Man.
I'm here for a modification to our emergency.
Haven't
access
seen you in a
road.
while. Where have you been? You come into the...
I'm here every day.
Okay. Did I give you a ride home one time?
Yes, you did.
Okay, I thought so,
That's
right.
when my car failed, right?
Yeah, right.
at the Porsche dealership.
Yeah.
We have
Good
an
place for it to
emergency
fail.
access road. Maybe in front of the building. This is the back of the building.
Right.
It's the extra space storage facility on Graysbridge Road. And we have an emergency access road. The original drawings called for it to be covered with this, which you place on the Bank gravel road, which we already have. And then you put soil on it, and hopefully you're gonna grow grass. And we're suggesting instead of that, to put gravel. It is, it's steep over here, so we're getting some runoff. We're getting erosion on the side. And the other issue is that once you put this product on it,
It's pretty stable.
well, it becomes unstable. I mean, if you plow over it or
Right,
whatever.
that's true.
I mean, on drawings it looks, I'm saying this as, I'm a professional engineer, so on the drawings it looks great. But trying to get this to be totally flat on this type of road, especially on the embankment going up to Grace Bridge, I don't think it's gonna last. So instead we're suggesting gravel.
Suggesting what?
Gravel.
Gravel.
road. We have, we brought this to the attention of, fire commissioner and the fire marshal, he's fine with it,
Uh-huh.
that's what
Okay.
there's other
Um,
photos here,
So is that just for the entrance or all the way to the building?
all the way to the building.
What size is it? Because if you put two line stuff, it can still move.
What's that?
If the gravel's too small.
Oh, it's gonna be, item 4, it's gonna be, we have a section on the drawing here.
Okay,
for it.
okay. Well, certainly the argument about the plowing with the other, it makes sense to me. I mean, I can see what that'd be.
The
Because,
plowing, I could see an issue, but I think you'd actually have less runoff with the grass, because the roots of the grass tend to hold the stuff together, and this runoff is actually off the side of the gravel where there isn't growth from water running down here. I mean, I fully get the part about the plowing.
Yeah, I mean, provided that we can grow grass, I mean, during the non-growing months, basically, I get the runoff. We have
Now,
2
once you get
inches
the root system established in there,
Well, we get 2 inches of soil. I mean, it's not like we have low soil. This goes on about, I think the detail is 3 inches of gravel, is the manufacturer's detail. But I think it's going to lift up, the repair problem, and the gravel will slow down the water.
I tend to think the opposite. I think the gravel speeds up, the water can flow easier over the packed gravel.
Well, we may have to put something on the sides here too to stabilize this. I mean, it's very steep over here as it runs off to the silt fence. This is,
Right, but that, changing this isn't gonna affect, this, if you don't have growth in there, it's gonna wash out.
yeah.
That's a
Well,
given.
This area here is right, this is very steep over here. So actually, the drawing calls for this to be paved because we cannot even hold the gravel here, it's that steep. But this area here is right about here. So there's about, I'm not sure if it's 30 feet of paving and then it's gonna be a gravel drive.
Well, this is like a, about 100 feet straight and downhill from the back of this parking lot, right? So is that where all the runoff, that's where all the runoff must be coming from?
So, well,
I mean,
yeah,
it's a-
right
it's
down
a-
across the
Grace
road.
Ridge.
It's a wide road, it's
Yeah,
a
that's
wide
right.
driveway, it's one
It could be
way.
coming from this road over here that goes up to the parking lot.
That's what I'm
of the
talking
building,
about.
and it
It's
shoots
wide
down
and it's
here.
perfectly straight and it's pitched pretty tight. You know the one I'm talking about, the one-way road coming out of the back of Savers.
Oh, okay, yep.
That's what that is right there. So that's where all the flow is. I
Yes,
mean, it's
yes,
just
yes,
coming down
yeah.
that.
Coming right down into the driveway.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of speed bumps, but, you know, the way it's been raining, it's going right over it and around it, and it's curbed on both sides. So it's just shooting water right here.
It's, yeah, I just think he's right, it comes down. I don't like to use, I mean, a few things I could think of is perhaps a swale maybe, some sort, huh?
Swale.
Well, maybe not, maybe not, or bigger riprap in through here to help slow it down of some sort.
Well, we.
Yeah, I
we
mean,
can't
look at
put
the,
rip
look at the
on
length of
road.
this. Here's the parking lot, and this thing just comes down,
Right.
and
Right
it goes
into the
right across
driveway.
the street. That's where this is right here, it's right here,
Yeah,
that car
that's-
is.
That's right there.
So the water's just
Right.
pouring down here, and that's all, this is, right here is probably 30 feet above Grays Bridge Road. It's pretty high right there.
It is high. Yeah, it's a steep kind of drive to the parking lot.
I don't know if there's any drainage in this
I'm
road.
not sure, I don't recall if there's any catch basin at the base or close by there, or maybe there's a catch basin over here to intercept it. But we are getting runoff down Grays Bridge as well that comes into the property. But I don't think we're gonna be able to stabilize it the way that it's drawn. I think it'll be a maintenance problem, frankly.
Does this one says paved surface
In the beginning,
for this section, that's
Right.
right here,
yes.
and then,
Do you know what the other emergency
And
is?
riprap, or
Get
gravel,
I mean, get plowed?
gravel, yeah.
I believe they do get plowed because just in case
Yeah.
they need them, it does make sense.
It makes sense, I just don't recall seeing it.
Valid point. I try not to go out on those stormy days.
I always look at silly stuff like that. This time of year I'm looking at
I wonder if
everyone's
this-
lawn, I'm looking at everyone's driveway.
This may be something you might, Sharon to take a look at it, see what her thoughts
I'm,
are.
need a
I'm
field
honestly
trip,
not
too.
sure the gravel's gonna slow down the water at all. I think it's gonna tend to run faster across the gravel than if you get a good growth in there. I mean, you have the issue while you're waiting for it to grow in, but once it grows in, I think that tends to slow down water more. That's just what I've seen from my experience.
Now, you're right, provided that this will be stabilized on it, but if it starts lifting up and everything else, it may not work. The gravel will slow down the water, not as much certainly if it's just grass, no question about that. But during winter months and other months when we don't have grass growth, I think the runoff coefficient might be a little bit, a little bit lower than the gravel at that point, but I don't think it's gonna stabilize. I think what we're suggesting is gonna be a better fix for it.
How thick are you thinking of putting the gravel?
What's that?
How thick, how,
It's
I
on
mean-
the drawing.
I mean,
forgot.
4 inches, 3 inches,
I think
an inch?
measure.
4 inches.
4 inches?
Yep.
That's pretty good. But that absorbs a lot, Tom. 4 inches of gravel would absorb a lot. Slow it down, I mean, it's, you know.
The real issue is, I just don't think this is, once we put this thing down, that this thing is going to, the edge is gonna come up. It's just not gonna give us the effect that we're looking for.
How does that come in, like 8x4 or?
Comes in sheets
Like-
like this, they kind of lock together,
Okay.
Right, interlock right at these intersections.
and you put soil on it, you seed it.
Right. Yeah. I'm not opposed to it. 4 inches of gravel is, you know, if you want, if you guys think it's still a problem, perhaps 6 inches is gravel. It's just,
Well, this says 8-inch bank run below 4-inch process.
8 inch what?
Bank
Oh,
run.
bank run, okay.
And
That's
yeah, we have a lot
Bruce.
there. I mean,
yeah,
it's,
pretty substantial, right? Yeah.
Right now, this is just dirt, right? Some
Right
loose,
now,
some
it's
loose
gravel
gravel.
mixed in.
washed out over here. This part here.
Well, unless you stop the water flow, it's gonna continue to wash out inside of that emergency access. I mean, granted, it's been a very wet year.
That's why we suggested even paving it, you know, that first, I don't know, 30 feet or so, just to stabilize it. Because they won't even hold the gravel, it's too steep.
You want to, are you in a big hurry for this?
Well, we're planning on finishing up this job in 2 months.
Okay.
And it's getting to the point now that we have to make some decisions.
Yeah, I just think maybe this is something you may want to have Sharon take a look at.
Personally, I'd be okay with paving the beginning of it and putting a lip so the water doesn't run in, but I don't think I'd wanna do gravel the whole way in. Cause then not only that, it encourages people to drive down that way, whereas the grass, people forget it's there.
Well, you know, we're having a gate,
Oh, okay.
that no one's gonna go down there, we don't want people going down there. I'd appreciate a vote one way or the other from the 3 of you tonight, because if we put this off 2 weeks, I have to go before the planning board.
Yeah, I get it,
And
yeah.
then we're getting to the point
Yeah,
where
yeah.
we're trying to finish up the
Well,
job.
it wouldn't have to go before planning.
Excuse me?
Oh, it has to go before zoning.
Yes.
When you said
Yeah, you
planning,
mentioned
I'm going,
the
it's not
planning
planning,
and
sorry, we're separate in this town.
For right now.
And we're trying to, I think that we have given this board more weekly sight, it wasn't even mentioned this evening, to keep you very knowledgeably informed about what we're doing. We're trying to do a very good job.
Right, I
You
don't
know,
disagree.
frankly, we could have just followed the drawings and
Right.
so on, but it's gonna look like hell.
Yeah. I'm not uncomfortable really with the gravel. I mean,
And this isn't too different, I think, than what you have approved for TD and Sons too, if I recall.
the what?
Which one's that?
The 77 Vale?
Yeah.
They too have a gravel drive contiguous to a wetland.
Yeah, I mean, I've been around a lot of construction sites. I've seen gravel work. I mean, it can be very effective. You know, I'm not particularly opposed to the gravel and the 4 inches and the bank run on top.
Depending on the size of the gravel that's on top.
Yeah,
Well, it's a process, it's gonna be a gravel drive.
right. Right.
I think it'll look better, we want a nice looking job. I think, you know, in the beginning, this will probably look pretty good, but I think that if we gotta plow it, I think it's gonna catch an edge, this is usually what happens with it, and it looks like.
And that makes sense to me too. So. Well, what do you thoughts? I mean,
Like I said, as long as the gravel is of a good enough size, you
well,
know,
what's your definition of good enough size? I mean, you gotta give me some idea.
2 3/4 inch circumference.
2 3/4 circumference?
Yeah.
Well, I mean.
You
okay.
asked.
I didn't, no, I understand, but every, it says sufficient sizes, you can't quantify that, you know?
It's gonna be-
I haven't been in a quarry in
it's
a
gonna be
long
nice
time,
Okay.
gravel drive, it's gonna look good.
but I think the smaller gravel is just gonna wash out.
I agree with that.
So, like, like this stuff here,
Yeah, it's
the
gonna
little
be-
bit of it we can rake up and
Right, right.
It's
spread.
gonna be item 4, it's gonna be processed stone, it's gonna be a
Right,
nice looking
Yeah, I got,
gravel drive.
okay,
Now, what's gonna happen when the plow guy pushes all that off to the sides? Is it all gonna be put back in the driveway, or is it just gonna add more? I
Well,
mean,
we
you
have to
use the
make-
plow for that, the same thing's gonna happen with gravel, the plow
Well,
guy's
it's
gonna
a lot-
push it off.
It's a lot easier leveling out the gravel than, once these
Absolutely.
things
Well, you
come
don't
up-
wanna level it, you wanna crown it. If you level it, you're gonna have potholes.
well, he
No,
means-
but I mean, if it's lifted up by a plower, then it's a lot easier doing that than this. But
Right, right. Personally, I'm okay with that. Tom,
Yeah,
Rob,
I think so.
It's fine.
okay, all right,
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
anybody wanna make a motion?
Tom, please.
Now you got this one.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion that we approve, 2442, W 2442, 23 Grays Bridge Road as presented this evening,
We do-
with all the usual stipulations.
And keeping the original conditions of the approval from the original.
Yeah, right. Anybody second that?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Okay, let's see. We got Obtuse Hill Road, 2440 Obtuse Hill Road. Application for
54
survey.
by 16, wow.
Mhm.
That's a big deck.
So,
Yeah, it is a big deck.
so he will not be present here this evening. He will be attending your next meeting for 119A Altus Hill Road. It's brand new business. You couldn't have acted on it either tonight, so
Okay, so we're pushing that off till,
we're pushing that off to the next one.
Okay. Correspondence from
Motion?
America's Pond
Do you
and
need
Lake.
a motion to
Continue?
Yep.
Let's make a motion to continue 119A Obtuse Hill Road.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. It's unanimous? Okay, correspondence?
These are just the normal updates whenever they're treating the ponds. They give us, and for most of the time, they're condo associations, whenever they're doing any kind of work.
Okay.
They send us the application. I always give it to you so you know.
Okay.
We don't really do anything with it though.
Okay. I guess we go into the minutes? No? Okay.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes when you guys get done reading them.
I wasn't here.
That's fine.
Give me one
I'll
second.
second it. All in favor?
Aye.
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 You abstained, right?
Yeah,
Robert,
he wasn't
okay.
here.
I'm gonna say-
All right. Anybody wanna make a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Cassandra, how was that?